I'm Ben Phinney, and Carol's older sister was my babysitter back in the day. I'm going to talk about winter memories in Randolph. The Phinney family first started coming to Randolph in the early 1950s. My grandfather and father had hiked the White Mountains as kids, but it was Bob Hatch, my father's mentor and good friend, who suggested Randolph. Although my parents built a three-season house, they quickly realized they enjoyed being in Randolph in the winter. And they started coming up in the middle of the 1950s, bringing along my sister Joanna and myself. Drives from Massachusetts to Randolph were long and memorable, often 4 to 6 hours, or Route 16, Route 93 having not been built. It was usually dark out when Dad would park the Plymouth station wagon on Randolph Hill Road near the Crosby, now the Hunt's house, and we would snowshoe or post hole downhill to the house on Stearns Road, now called Pasture Path. After digging out the front door, we take the toboggan back up to the car, load it up, and zoom down the hill to the house. My parents did heat the house year-round, but in those early days there was no running water. So we had to make do with outdoor toilets and GI cans full of melted snow for water. Well, there must have been much more snow in those days, especially in February and March. When the snow was deep, we used to shovel off the roof of the house and then enjoy skiing off the roof into the field. I think it was Jack Boothman told me we better shovel the roof, otherwise it was going to cave in. At times we would dig a complex of tunnels and rooms with quadripartite arched ceilings and then sleep out in beds of snow that we constructed. Occasional nighttime visits by raccoons put an early end to that practice. Some highlights of our winter adventures included dinners at the Boothmans of Colebrook Lodge. I'll never forget going out in the barn to watch steaks being hacked out of a bear carcass hanging from a hook on a beam. Skiing with Dad and Jack Boothman up towards Carlton Notch and listening to them talk about beaver trapping. Playing hide and seek on snowshoes in the dark forest after dinner, after too much to drink. The first day at Wildcat Ski Area when it opened for business. And years later, watching Punky and Moby Mudge bail from a gondola during the March gondola crash. That was my birthday, actually. It was about 30 degrees below zero one night at Grey Knob when Guy Waterman was caretaking. Guy got the temperature up to about freezing by burning the allotted 3 sticks of wood. We hiked Adams early the next windless morning in brilliant sunlight. Skiing up Stony Brook Trail to Carter Ridgeline with John Martinson and feeling warm at minus 23 degrees and then zooming down 18 inches of fresh powder to the bottom. It was one of the greatest days of my life. And then, many years later, observing the radiant smile on Dad's face when the Randolph Christmas carolers, and many of you here were there, sang to him. He was 91 years old, and he had less than a month to live. When we first started coming up in the winter, the hill was virtually deserted, except for a few hardy souls like Lita Watson. Today, many more people enjoy the crystalline beauty of Randolph in the winter. May everyone revel in the magic. Thank you.